Welcome back to the integration by parts topics. Let's talk about how to choose u when you need to use integration by parts in order to solve some integral. So the very good recommendation, which I learned only when I moved to the United States, is the LIATE rule. LIATE rule tells you that you should choose u to be whatever comes first in order. If you see that integral has logs, then choose that to be u. If you see some kind of inverse functions like arcsine or sine or whatever, then choose that to be u. If you see some algebraic function like x cubed minus 5x, maybe that will be a good choice. Trigonometric functions, cosine x, sine x, an exponential function e to the x, 5 to the x, and so on. Whatever you see first in order should be your choice. For example, example 1, if I give you integral with x cosine x dx, and before I knew this rule, I was actually guessing, and at some point you build intuition and you just know which choice is better. But when I was learning this, I was purely guessing at the beginning, and it wasted me a lot of time. If I choose this to be u and it doesn't work, then I just cross everything away and then choose this to be u and then the other piece to be dv and move on and hope it will work this time. So let's have this suggestion list, and actually it works really well. Using the suggestion, it says if I see log, then choose that to be u. I don't see any log. Inverse functions, not really. Algebraic functions, yes. X should be u in this case if we want to use the suggestion. So here's a nice notation I like teaching in my classes. Let u to be x. Du then will be 1 dx. dv is not a choice anymore, as you understand. dv is everything else, which is cosine x dx. u dv. Then v is the integral of that function. What is integral of cosine? Integral of cosine is sine x. If you want to check the sign, differentiate v. Derivative of sine is cosine, so you are correct. I usually put it in a little box. And then, visually, I memorized that now, based on the formula over here, integral of u dv will be u times v, that's the cross product, minus integral of v du. V happens again in the formula times du. Using this visual memorization, or you can remember the formula if you want, I see that I have u times v, which is x times sine x, minus integral of v shows up again, that's sine x, times 1 dx. 1 dx. So integration by parts creates from one integral a piece which is already integrated minus a more simple integral, or at least we hope that it's going to be more simple. If not, we do integration by parts one more time or any other technique. That's indeed what happened over here. We have x sine x, that's the prepared part, you don't have to integrate it anymore, and a simple integral, which is just integral of sine x dx. Equals sine x sine x minus, what if derivative of sine? Derivative of sine is negative cosine x, right? Check yourself, differentiate cosine, it gives you minus sine. Minus cancels minus, everything matches. Plus c, don't forget that if you're working with indefinite integrals. So the answer becomes x sine x plus cosine x plus c. So our choice was good. It worked really well. It would not actually work if you choose the other way around. If I would choose cosine to be u, then derivative of u will be negative sine, then dv will be x, and integral of x will be x squared over 2, and it will not make the second integral to be easy. The whole idea was to use this x as u and to get rid of it. When you differentiated this x, what happened? It became 1. And then this 1 went to the integral. So this integral became more simple to integrate. Second example is just a simple reminder. Do you guys know how to integrate log? Natural log of x dx. And actually there's a whole Wikipedia page you can check about the integral of natural log of x. Well, you need to know integration by parts to learn how to integrate such a simple function as log. You should see this as natural log of x times 1. Maybe that will help you. So from the list says the moment you see log, choose that to be u. Okay. I can see that there's a log here. So I'm choosing that to be u. Then everything else is dv. What is everything else? 1 dx. So I'm making a box again. And I like making the box actually right over here. U is ln x. du is 1 over x dx. dv is 1 dx. What is integral of 1? What is integral of 1? X, right? X plus c. But we don't really write c. Now, visually, I know that you need to cross multiply the results. U times v becomes natural log of x times x minus the integral of the product of the bottom guys. It's going to be integral of x times 1 over x dx. The first term is x, natural log of x. The second one is integral of x over x. X cannot be 0, so we can cancel them out. How do I know that x is not 0? Because of the original function. For log to exist, x should be greater than 0. That's the domain of natural logarithm. So when I cancel out these two guys, x over x, I will have just integral of dx. Sometimes people call it empty integral, but actually it's integral of 1. The answer is x ln x minus, what is integral of 1? That's x, because when you differentiate x, it gives you 1. Don't forget plus c at the end. And this is the result of integration of the natural log standing by itself in the integral. So this is a very nice feature to remember, LIATE. LIATE helps you to choose what should be u when you're working with integration by parts. And it's very rare when we actually choose exponential function to be u. Usually log, inverse, algebraic, or trigonometric function should be u. It's actually very few examples when you see that e to the x chosen to be u helps, but it's still in the list. Hope it was helpful. Now go and integrate as many times as you need to be very good at integration by parts.